WagerTalk.com is the place to be to catch Steve Merrill's complete selections on college football and the NFL. The NBA is coming soon and his money management system. But we are so glad to have Steve here at the Voice of College Football each and every Thursday to run down the top college football games, including Alabama and Ole Miss. The Tide, regardless of losses, regardless of whatever, not covering a number of times. Vegas, of course, has confidence in Alabama football as a 12.5-point favorite against a fringe top 10 team in Ole Miss, Steve.
Yeah, Bama's 7-2 straight up. They're 5-4 against the number this year. But you got to be really careful with that because they were beating up on the weak teams early in the season. In fact, I remember back in week 1 at WagerTalk.com, I had a strong best bet on Utah State for my clients. We laid the huge number there. It was like 41.5, I believe. And they won by 55-0. But then they came right out and barely beat Texas that next week on the road. Then they beat up on Monroe, beat up on Vanderbilt, kind of come from behind cover against Arkansas. But if you look against good opponents, and Ole Miss is a good opponent, by the way, Bama has underperformed. It's been a couple years in a row now that they've underperformed in road games in general. And now that they're off their second loss of the season, a loss that most likely knocks them out of national title contention, I'm not sure I just expect them to bounce back in a big way. And Ole Miss is more than capable of winning this game outright. And on top of that, we're getting a full 12 points. My math model says this line is too high. In fact, it favors Bama by just 9.5 points in my simulation database. And Ole Miss is an explosive offensive team that averages 37.5 points, 6.5 yards per play, and they can run 267 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. That's actually better rushing numbers than Alabama has per game, just 204 rushing yards. So we get a good running underdog, focus spot with line value catching double digits. I like Ole Miss plus 12 in this game on Saturday afternoon.
Get Steve's Under the Radar selection exclusively on Patreon.com. Go to Mark Rogers TV, sign up right there. You get a whole lot of other benefits. But again, Steve's Under the Radar selection. He's 9-1 against the spread this season. All right, Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.